Derek does a quick aside. Derek does a fantastic job.
He does.
He really does.
And the only reason this tournament is going to run over, if it does, is totally because
it's
of
our fault.
needs.
It's absolutely our fault.
They usually run a pretty tight tournament here and get you in and get you out. And then if it's not a repair, we have Matt. He is a pretty talented player. He generally plays some Geist of St. Traft variant.
Yep.
It's going to change our match?
Okay.
Okay. Well, we will cut away, I guess, Joe, for just a minute. The rounds will change. This will change this matchup, so we may have to pick a new match. And I guess we'll be right back. FNM. Kyle's playing blue-white control.
Yes.
That is what he plays, format in, format out. Anytime he even remotely can make it work, the man loves the Sphinx's Revelation.
Yes.
He loves a Wrath of God. He loves an Augur of Bolus. Probably more than all of the above.
If he got to make an invitational card, he would just say Augur of Bolus. And actually keep the name Augur of Bolus. Yeah.
The man loves an Augur of Bolus. Noah Ross. White Weenie aficionado.
Yep, absolutely.
Plays Death and Taxes and Legacy.
Yes.
Been playing White Weenie on and off since what?
1999.
Mass Block.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean the man knows his way around a cheap white creature. So this will be an interesting match. It's your very classical aggro versus control.
Yeah.
And Noah's on the play, which is a big deal.
Yes, that's huge.
It lets you get in under his Augur Boluses.
Yeah.
And lets you get your Thalias in to really disrupt his sweepers.
Yeah.
You know, if he's counting on casting a sweeper on turn 4, Thalia can really buy that extra turn it takes to just end the game sometimes.
Yeah,
so.
Thalia is a huge deal in this deck. And I have to say it, Noah's actually my cousin.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
He's one of They used to go by the name Team.
Oh,
Team
Noah likes his hand.
He likes it. Noah is definitely a little bit of a showman. He's also one of my favorite people to play against. Although it's unfortunate when I have to, but so he's one of the players who kind of showed me the ropes of competitive play, and
he was the one that kind of got you back into playing relatively recently, right?
Yeah,
with his cards and
so when we share cards, and he's kind of the card keeper.
Yeah.
I'm not a very organized person. If you ever see my collection, quote unquote, I just have 2 boxes, one called red cards, the other one called other.
Right.
I just toss them in.
What more do you need?
Yeah, and so Kyle's going to 6.
And Noah's keeping his 7 on the play.
Which is very...
And the control deck is going down to 6 on the draw. These are the kind of things that you want to have happen. I don't know Noah's exact list. You probably know it better than I do.
I know it roughly. Yeah, he asked if you can 1, 2, 0. You're allowed to mold a 0.
Yeah, it's not a game rule violation.
That is allowed. That's totally within the constraints of the rules.
So
6 cards. Looks like he has.
That looks like some action. I look like maybe a detention sphere. Oh, all right, we're off and running.
That Doom Traveler?
It looks like a Doom Traveler. Not a Champion of the Paris, which would be, you're obviously, you're nut. Although, in a deck full of Azorius Charms and stuff, it's just not as good. Yep. And he's curving out.
Noah has the Exalted Knight. So Doom Traveler beating him for 2 rather than 1.
Yep.
So this is
pseudo haste on that Exalted.
This is kind of the classic issue here. I was about to say Kyle could have an Azorius Charm to kind of buy some time, but he doesn't. So that's and he also didn't have an Augur Bolas.
Yep. So that's Augur Bolas is very big in this matchup. That 3 toughness. Now next game when Kyle's on the play, that turn 2 3 toughness is such a big deal.
It's a huge pain. Yes.
So I don't know who's favored in this matchup. I'm going to go ahead and say that I've done it before the draw step if he had it, though. You want to make him tap mana on his turn.
Sure, yeah. So I wonder what Kyle could have. It's strange. I thought I saw a burn in turn in Kyle's hand. I could be making that up, but I thought I saw a split card. And I was okay. That's the Restoration Angel.
Couldn't block faster with that Restoration Angel.
And
that's
Brave the Elements.
Brave the Elements. Pick him up.
Yep. So Kyle's just light on action.
Yeah, just light on action that game. Hit his land drops, but what he needed was a Wrath of God. What he needed was some Augur Bolas. Is something to let him control the pace at which that game was going to play out.
Absolutely.
Until he can bring his Sphinx's Revelation online to just put it away.
Yeah.
Now, after board, Kyle's going to have some Essence Scatters.
Yes.
For sure. And if he doesn't have a full set of Terminuses and Supreme Verdicts, he probably will after board.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's all you're trying to do in the matchup is buy time and then resolve a verdict.
Yep.
And then get up to like a Sphinxes for 4, and then eventually Sphinxes for like 7.
And then you 3 for 1 your opponent, and then you draw 4 cards. And they're just down a whole hand at that point. Yeah, they're down 7 cards.
And although Boros Human is a very powerful deck, it's again like the Bane Hexproof deck. It's not that thick.
It's not good at playing from behind. It really wants to dictate the pace of the game.
Yeah, it's a little more resilient.
Exactly. That's what you're kind of trading off. Right. Where you're mono red, you're all in turn 4 kill deck. This deck's going to have things probably like your Thalias.
Exactly.
And your stuff that lets you interact a little more.
Slayer Stronghold.
Yeah. These are all very, very powerful effects that your slightly more all-in aggro deck doesn't have access to.
Absolutely.
So Slayer Stronghold, pretty good in this matchup.
Yeah, it's very strong. It makes all of your top deck creatures live.
Yeah. Even cards that are embarrassing turn into at least lightning bolts. You can at least something that's really worth noting. After board, Kyle's going to have access to several. I don't know how many he plays, but he's going to have more than one Blind Obedience.
Yes,
that's a very powerful card. It's a little better against the mono red deck that has full of hasty guys.
Right. Yeah.
But it's still relevant here in the sense that the extort actually can help him stay in the game. Oh, yeah. It can buy you a full turn, maybe 2, and that's where you want to be with this deck is just buying those turns.
I keep thinking I'm seeing red cards in Kyle. Is that not a Sacred Foundry that he has? And an Aurelius Fury, maybe?
Maybe. It's possible that he's added the red. A little more traditional red, white, blue control that we've been seeing on and off for a while. Yep. I know last week he definitely was on straight blue, white.
Right. Which is actually, even myself being an aggro player, if I was thinking about, I think I would probably play blue-white control. It seems very good.
Yeah. It certainly has been very good in this format. When the format was a little slower, the Sphinx's Revelation decks were certainly very good.
Absolutely.
It was hard to kill them in time, As the aggro decks have gotten better, we've seen the blue-white control list drop off a little bit, although certainly all those cards are still there.
Right, yeah. And it's interesting, with the blue-white shell, as you can call it, all the options for splash are pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
If you splash red, you can play your traditional blue-white red flash. We saw a splash for green earlier.
We did.
And also...
to kind of manhandle a lot of these decks that just stumble a little bit.
Right.
And we saw Kyle there hit all his land drops, little light on action, and just Noah never let up.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And if he is playing red, he never drew a red source.
Yeah.
So that means no World Leaders Herix.
Yep.
No Turn and Burn.
No potential Pillar of Flames, which I'd be surprised maybe if he had in the main anymore, but he certainly could have access to on the board.
Absolutely. Any sort of burn spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle going on to 5.
That is not where you want to be.
No, especially not on the play.
Yep. Although, if you have a Wrath of God and you hit all your land drops, you can catch up.
Oh, absolutely.
You can get those cards back.
Yeah. Noah's starting with a token in play.
Yep. Seems legit to me. Also rolling some dice. I don't know exactly what's going on.
He's playing a whole different game. There's the Boros Human.
They've stopped playing Magic and have started playing some other similar...
Parcheesi.
Yeah. The King of Games. The Game of Kings.
Right.
So...
And then Noah politely donating another token to Kyle. Kyle looking at it, and he's attacking with it.
A little aggressive, maybe. A Hellion token there. Yes, indeed.
A Hellion. Oh, from the Crucible.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So, I wonder who won that fight.
Well, the Hellion, I think, is going to beat that soldier. It looks scary. As Noah's pointing out, it's got that scary-looking face there.
I wish I had some idea of what they were saying. I really do.
These guys know each other. They play all the time here. They're friends, so it's a friendly game. Kyle can't be feeling great after mauling 3 times in 2 games.
No. Okay, so there's the Steam events, and Noah with no 1-drop. I think I see a Burning Earth, however.
And Kyle has a reasonable amount of counterspells after board.
Yes.
More maybe than you might expect from a traditional build. What is that?
Oh, Legion's Initiative?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah.
That's good against your sweepers.
Absolutely.
The problem is you got to keep mana up.
And you need guys.
And you really want a 1-drop, maybe, to be able to protect with it.
Yeah, this is a slow drop. But it might not matter. Kyle could just run out of resources because of his Moldify.
It's hard. This deck wants to hit a land drop every turn forever. Kyle's deck. It's a kind of deck that wants to hit its 11th land drop. Reasonably. Absolutely. And it's hard to do sometimes when you're down to 5. Now, he's done a good job. Think Twice is going to keep him live.
A Wrath here would be ideal.
Yes, this would be the turn. Otherwise, Noah's ready for it.
I think if Kyle had the Wrath, he would just play it.
Yeah, I don't think he'd slow roll it.
Yeah, you can't let the initiative do its thing.
Basically, at this point, Noah could theoretically untap and just start chewing you up and leave initiative up for the rest of the game.
Absolutely.
Theoretically. Yeah. I mean, he's got, 3-4 power on the board?
Yeah. There's a Detention Sphere on the Champion of the Parish.
Yes, that is probably the one you want to get.
Absolutely.
And what that says is I don't have Wrath of God.
Right. Yeah. Kyle's just trying to buy time here. Trying to take away sources of damage. If he had a Wrath, he could be a little greedy, take the Allegiance Initiative, and next turn Wrath.
And then bait him out for maybe another guy.
Right. So that is Silverblade Paladin, I believe.
Is that a Silverblade Paladin?
Yeah.
That's a clock.
Suited it up with the Exalted, so that'd be 6 damage.
And that Legion Initiative.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. This looks good for Noah.
It does. Now, but Kyle has very powerful spells, and he's managed to hit all his land drops, which is his number, especially on a maul.
Passing back.
His number 1 goal is hit land drops. Okay, so now we have a 4th.
I've seen that look from Kyle before. I don't think he has anything. He's kind of...
Yeah.
He's definitely...
He's doing some math. You can see him counting there, and that's...
Okay, rev for... Oh, but this is going to give Noah the opportunity to land that Burning Earth, and that's going to shut out the game.
Now, he revved for 3.
Yep. So...
It was the 13. Then takes a bunch. That Paladin is a beating, and... Yeah, that's it. And then the thing is, Burning Earth, if he resolves it, to remove it, it kills him.
Yeah, so this has to be... I think he has Burning Earth. It could be another red card, but if this is Burning Earth, this is a no-brainer. Yeah, there it is.
There it is. So now, to even the Tension Sphere, the Burning Earth off the board, Kyle puts himself dead on board.
Right.
He just doesn't... It turns off Sinks Revelation as an out. Wrath puts him dead to any burn spell. It's a tough spot. Burning Earth has been very good. One of the reasons you don't see as much of the 3-color control decks and people started going back to the blue-white is the blue-white gets to play basic lands.
Exactly, yeah. I was trying. I was about to mention that. Blue-white control, Burning Earth is not that big.
Not that good.
But as we can see here, Kyle has only one basic plains.
Yep.
So.
And I don't know if he has room for many more basics than that in the entire deck.
Right. It's hard to fit you want to be able to cast your spells.
Yeah.
I mean.
And you have double white, you have double blue. I mean, you have some tough mana requirements in there.
Yeah.
The red splash is not free, although it does give you some very powerful cards.
And if there's anyone that can find a way out of this, it is Kyle.
Kyle is a master of this archetype. He's been playing it.
The blue mage.
Yeah. And he is really good in Legacy. He's had a lot of success he has a top 16 with Storm.
Yep.
And at a Star City event, and he likes playing these complex decks that have to play many turns in the future.
Yes.
He's really good at if there's a line to be found, Kyle is good at finding that line, no matter how elaborate the play has to be.
Or how dire the situation.
Yes. So this game's not over, but it doesn't look good.
I don't. I mean.
And this goes to show, this. I mean, now Kyle mulled to 5,
right?
But the cards that the Boros deck plays are very powerful,
right? Yes.
It didn't give Kyle a lot of time to recover.
No.
Given enough time, he'll make up for. I mean, he did. He revved up 4 cards, so he made up for that mulligan.
Yeah.
And he had also land drops.
But what makes this even worse is that Noah misses land drop for a couple turns, so he has a fistful of cards.
Yeah, he's got cards in hand.
Kyle's going to take 3 to Supreme Verdict.
Yes.
And then, so Kyle's at 4. This is going to be very hard.
If does Noah play Boros Charm?
I believe so. Yeah. So, is that Thalia?
That could be a Thalia.
The Guardian of...
Yep. Thalia. Thank you, Joe. That is a Thalia Guardian of Thraben, which
makes it even worse for Kyle. He has to pay that extra mana to try to resolve
the land.
Right.
Or in game 1, they draw the lands, but they don't draw. They miss action they don't draw the Wrath for a couple turns. You just don't give them the time to recover.
Exactly. Yeah. You have to make sure that you have a follow up to their maybe big play.
Right.
That's why you see great aggro players, just something as simple as not overextending into a Wrath.
Right. And it's very tight because you don't want to give them more turns than you have to.
Right.
But you also don't want to give up that 4-for-1 if you don't have to. So you really got to read the game state, and it changes from turn to turn, what the correct line is going to be. So Noah moves on to 3-0.
Yep.
Kyle goes down to 2-1.
Yep.
They announced the prize support tonight. We had 33 players.
A healthy 33.
Healthy 33 players. That means we're going to be playing 5 rounds of Magic the Gathering tonight. First place is playing for $80.85 in store credit, which is pretty reasonable first place.
Not bad.
For playing 5 rounds of Magic. Second place will be playing for $46. Third and fourth will be playing for $28. That rounds out your top 4.
Okay.
And your 5th through 8th place will make $11.55. For a $5 buy-in, means you can probably go 3 and 2 and make double your money back, which isn't a bad deal.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Not a bad deal. So with that, we'll go ahead and cut away. We'll go scout the room, pick out a great match for you for the bubble round 4.
The nerves set in.
Exactly. Yeah. If you win round 4, there's a really good chance you can.
Round 4 comes around.
You get winning round 4. If you're undefeated, you have a really good chance of being able to split draw in round 5. So that's a big round. So we'll pick out some good matches for you guys, and we'll check back with you here. Thanks for watching.
Stay tuned.